Hey, it's the RIOT podcast, and I've got an idea. Why don't we put everything on hold, and I'll install my router while you guys are waiting?
No, I think people want to hear the podcast. Not you. You save that for another podcast, like not you installing your router. That would make for a very long intro, don't you think?
Oh, I'm sure that it'll only take me a couple of minutes, that it'll slide right in. No problems at all.
No one will mind. It'll be problem free, and Obi will sound even better with his setup there. So now, save that for later, and we talk a bit about Obi's continuing. Like his quest to go and have better home Wi-Fi. So you'll hear a bit of that in the podcast today.
We do. We also talk about 5G coming to my area, the McDonald's chicken sandwich, joining the 1%ers, a submarine that I think I'm actually going to need, and a few other surprises here and there.
Don't forget to also check out at RadioU RIOT. Obi did a review of the McDonald's chicken sandwich, the new one. So if you go to RadioU RIOT on Facebook or RadioU RIOT on our YouTube channel, you can watch that when you're done with the podcast today.
Good call. Anything else, Nikki?
Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for listening and joining us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So, want to say hi to Nicole. She texted this morning. Good morning, Obi and Nikki.
Oh, good morning.
Thanks for getting up early every day and doing what you do. You make my morning so much better.
It's so nice. It's such a nice text message. Thank you for sending that. And thank you for listening and being a part of the show. We couldn't do it without you.
And remember that you can also text us, just like Nicole did, 877-2-RADIO-U.
Nice things just like that. Like, that's really a nice thing to do. And even if you, once you're done texting us, maybe pick someone else to text something nice to today.
Also got a text here from Isaac. He says, okay, I listened to your podcast for today, heard about your CAT scan. I want you to know I'm praying for you, Obi. It's scary, I hope, and pray you're all right. So here's the deal. I had a CAT scan yesterday, which, do you know what that is? A CAT scan is not something that was introduced by Dr. Cat. It's a CT scan, as I understand it. It's the same thing, a CT or a CAT scan, and that stands for computed tomography. And what they do is they're taking multiple x-rays that they line up, and using those multiple x-rays, they're able to get a 3D image inside your head.
Yeah.
And so I basically was getting my sinuses x-rayed because the thought was I keep having an intermittent fever, which means I'm... like, I just have a fever. It's the dumbest thing.
Remember our previous wee sort of thing? It's just with that.
It's been really frustrating. It's what's keeping me out of the studio. And so I've just been trying to figure out. I will tell you what I think, and I don't even... I mean, people are asking. I'll tell you. Like, I think that I just have some sort of weird long hauler COVID symptoms. That's what I think. But I just have to get some kind of a thumbs up or down on, like, yes, you can be in a small room with people. No, you cannot be in a small room with people. So I'm supposed to go see supposedly one more doctor this week, and I'm not leaving until they sign a paper that says
that you can come back into work.
Well, either that I can or can't. Like, I want somebody needs to look me in the eye and say, either hide from people, you're a danger to society, or get your butt out there and get back to life. Well, I got to get one of those two things.
You know, because Obi had COVID, the temperature is lower than, like, if someone who hasn't had COVID suddenly develops a fever and then you have to go find out if you have it or something. For him, just having a running fever all the time. So they thought, well, maybe he has an infection somewhere. They couldn't see it, but your CAT scan looked good. They said he looked fine.
Yeah, I had blood tests and a CAT scan, and they both came back, and they're like, hey, you're fine. I didn't get to talk to a doctor, but I'm still having sinus pressure, but apparently that's just normal me, so no big deal.
Maybe that's also a long haul or COVID thing. I mean, it could all just be that. So you have to go to someone else now.
Yeah, so, like, I'm waiting. You have to wait for them to call you, and, I mean, you're not dying, so they're not in that big of a hurry, which, that's fine. Sure.
Well, hopefully we'll find out something soon so Obi feels better, or at least more comfortable if he does have a fever, that he can still come in.
Yeah, that's what really it just comes down to. I mean, I would like to feel a lot better, but I just want to be able to come back to the studio. So we're going to get
I'll just put you in the corner.
And taken care of.
Right over there in the corner. Right over there.
See, that's the other thing. Like, honestly, I think it's fine. But you know what? That's not just my health.
We say
that's
about
everyone.
We say that about everything. So we say it's fine, but we just want to make sure it's fine.
Yeah. So, like, if you guys are wondering, there I am. So you don't have to worry about me. Feel free to pray for me, though. That's I'll take all of that.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
All right, Nikki. COVID for all. It's fast. It's reliable. It's 5G in your neighborhood.
Well, I think you have to explain a little bit what you're saying.
No, okay. I just love the fact that people think
the joke is
that 5G is the cause of
COVID.
COVID. I don't think that's true. But that being said, I did just find out that they are offering 5G wireless internet in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Which that is very tempting to me because I know it's this way for most people, not everybody, but you can only get the internet from one company in my neighborhood. Just one company. That's all you get. Good luck with that. And so this is finally a way to get something else other than what I'm getting right now. And I think that's kind of cool.
It's the only way to have leverage if you go and you want to quit your current internet provider and you mean it. This will mean you actually have an alternative to go to. It's not an empty threat. Because normally they know they got you. You can't go and complain about a price increase or your quality of service that you're getting because there's no one else to go to.
The only thing that I just find myself looking at it going, well, like, is it? They're saying $50 a month is the 5G stuff. And I was looking at some people in my neighborhood that were kind of posting their results, and they were saying that they were getting like 200 or 300 meg down.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
That'll do. That'll work.
That's pretty good. In fact, okay, it was 200 down and 75 up.
Okay.
Is what they were getting. That's.
And what do you currently get?
20 down and no, that's not right. Let's just run a little speed test. Let's see.
Let's just do this while we're talking. Because we want to make sure that it'd be a good jump over if you tried.
Okay, so 125 down approximately, and then about 20 up.
So it'd be better for you if you tried it.
It would be, but then what if I get it and for some reason I'm the one it doesn't work with?
Oh, the chances are good for that. You're right on the line.
I know this is dumb, but it's one of those things where, like, I just look at it and go, yeah, but it's still, like, I know, but 5G is still wireless. So, like, how does that work?
Well, see if anybody else in your neighborhood continues to post about it, and you got some time. Maybe you can decide then.
Well, I want to know you, Nikki. Would you switch to 5G if it was? I'm paying $100 a month for internet right now.
I'm only paying $54 a month, and my internet's just great. So, like, I don't feel.
So you're happy?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, and I got some other options in my neighborhood if I want to choose to leave my current provider. But I'm good. I feel like I'm fine.
Oh man,
It's because you're further out. You're out too far.
I am. You know what? In some ways, it saves me money, but I pay in other ways. I pay.
It'll hurt you in other ways. But yeah, it just depends on where you're at and what providers you get.
All right. You know what? It's fine. It's fine.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Hey, if you take a little time and you hit up our YouTube channel or perhaps Facebook, you will actually see that there is a brand new Riot food fight video there, except it's a food fight of one.
Oh, you tried the McDonald's chicken sandwich yesterday?
So did you.
I did. We weren't together, so we couldn't do a combined food fight, but Obi did one that you can watch, so you can see what he thinks through our Facebook page at RadioU Riot and our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I also, went ahead and posted it on the Riot blog at riot.radiou.com. Now, the video on the Riot blog is me, but the photos are of Nikki's chicken sandwich.
You took mine?
I did.
Those are good. Those are all for the show's use. Did you like it? I didn't catch your result with it.
Well, I would like to know how you feel about it. Now, if I share how I feel, is it going to
Should we do it at the
color
same
your
time?
reaction?
1, 2, 3. You can just say it together.
You go first because my reaction's on video, so
you can't
it's
change
out
yours.
there. Yeah,
I just thought it was okay. Like it was a lot smaller. I'm judging it against because I don't go to Popeyes too often. That is a really good chicken sandwich of that style, but I normally will go to Chick-fil-A, so I'm going to judge it against that. I felt like it was a way smaller sandwich. Comes in the same bag. I tried the regular one, so I didn't try the sauces with it, but it was just all right. Like way better than other McDonald's chicken offerings, but not as good as the Chick-fil-A or the Popeye sandwich.
Wait, talk to me about the sauces. Nobody said anything to me about sauces.
You can get a deluxe one or a spicy one, and those have sauces with it.
What? Okay.
I mean,
really,
that's what they have.
That's weird because, maybe I just didn't do it right. Of course, it's my fault. I ordered through the app, and it did not throw any variety at me whatsoever.
Well, it's not like you pick or choose the chicken sandwich, and then you just add on to it. There's just 3 sandwiches, so there's just 3 of them.
Shoot, I would have bought at least 2 of them then at that point.
Eric tried the spicy one. He didn't care for the spicy sauce, which is the main driving force to that one.
Right.
I think outside of the deluxe one, I'm not sure how that one is.
You know what? Like, my takeaway from it was that it was okay.
Yeah, just all
which
right.
I'm sure is just what they want to hear. But, it was just like, this is okay. It is not as good as Chick-fil-A. It's nowhere near as good as Popeyes. And to me, if you would say to me, like, this came from McDonald's, it's like, hey, they did all right for themselves. Like, it's not. But when you compare it to anything else, Like, the next time I go to McDonald's, I'm not getting that chicken sandwich.
But if you felt like chicken and you were at McDonald's, it's a nice offering to have because I never cared for all their other chicken sandwiches. So it's,
right.
Again, it wouldn't be terrible if it stuck around. So anybody else try it. Let us know if you thought of the new McDonald's chicken sandwiches that came out yesterday. Hudson also did. If you follow us at RadioU Official on TikTok, you can also watch his review. He tried, I think, the spicy one. So you can watch that there on TikTok.
So you're saying we all went for chicken yesterday?
We did. We absolutely did. And we didn't plan it, I don't think. We just all tried it.
That's okay. Every DJ that I know on the internet went for chicken yesterday, so we're in good company.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I would like to join the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a 1%er, okay? I want to have...
Like wealth-wise or something else-wise?
Yes. Yeah, no, that. I want to be a 1%er. I want to be the person that everybody was really mad at like a couple years ago.
All right, well, what's the plan to make that happen?
Well...
or you just want it to happen? Not like you have to do anything else for it?
Can't you just, like, sign up or something? Like, is there a place where you get in line and it's like, this is the 1% line? And you just...
I mean, can it happen like lottery? Like, I don't know. Or hard work, or just by sheer luck. I'm not sure how to make that happen. Because the 1%er, that's a lot of money. That's more than just a little.
But you know what, though, Nikki? Taking a look in the United States, it may not be as much as you think. For example, well, it varies by country. Right now, if we went to Russia, if we could get 400,000 in the bank, we're a 1%er.
Really? So, okay, that's more obtainable of a goal, I thought. I thought you were going to tell me like 4 million or 4 billion.
Well, in the United States, to be a 1%er, you're going to need 4.4 million.
Okay, so it's harder here. All right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So now, just to let you know, we are number 3 for, what it takes to get into the 1%. Number 2, Switzerland. To get in there, you have to have 5.1 million.
Now, isn't that where everybody puts their money? That's where you might not be living, but it really helps if you put your money there for probably like tax purposes or something.
I feel like you might be right.
If number 1 is a certain island, then I know that's why.
No, number 1 is it's Monaco.
Oh, okay. All right.
Monaco's not an island. It's a country, but I don't think
it
it's
is.
an island,
But I think there's also some tax stuff there too. So I'm sure it's just helpful to find a place where your money can go a little further. A little stretch a little further.
Wow, Monaco is tiny.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Looks
That's
nice,
just
right?
a big place. That's just a big place where you go and launder your money. That's what that is right there.
And I don't even feel like you can just drive through. Like if you have to have enough money to get in there. But yeah, I'm sure it does feel like that.
Well, there, to be a 1%er, you have to have 8 million.
Oh, wow. But it's so small. It's so tiny. So everybody there must be pretty wealthy.
I was going to say, man, in Monaco, even the poor people are rich. They are loaded. Don't you worry.
All right, well, let's go back the other way. We can just find other places where your money can go a little bit further,
No, I'm tired of being in the 98%. I want to be a 1%er. I want to get all the way to the top.
What I mean is so you want to be a Monaco 1%er? You're going to have to work really hard at that. That'll take some time.
No, I just got to figure out how to cheat some people, and then I'm in. So if anybody's got any good ideas, you can text or call 877-2RADIO-U. It's my new goal now, at least for the next 3 minutes.
Well, I really like seeing you when you have a goal. Like, it gets you really driven towards that. So that's at least good. So is this like a study or a survey just showing wealth around the different countries?
The Knight Frank Wealth Report, I guess they put it out every year to show where the money is.
Or where you should be hiding your money.
Yeah. So pretty excited. If you guys want to help give to my 1%er fund, that's I think I'm going to be putting that on GoFundMe later.
Oh, gosh. Just $1 a day for Obi, and he'll be there before you know it.
All I need is 4 million people to give me $1.
Listening to the worst of the riot is the equivalent of standing in line at the BMV. Ugh. Worst of the riot. Radio U.
We are watching you. You're not listening to us. We got our eyes on you. Nikki and I have installed Ring cameras in every car listening right now.
No, that's not true, but it might feel like it, but we're not spying, we promise. We can't see you through your air vents, so you're good.
Every time you roll your eyes at me, I'm keeping track.
He knows. He can feel it. He can see it.
I know what's happening. So yesterday, Amazon announced their new Ring doorbell, the Video Doorbell Pro 2.
Because Amazon owns Ring, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they bought Ring.
Yes, they did.
So did you look at this new camera?
I did. It looks nice. I mean, if you have a current Ring or a current video doorbell, there comes a point where you say to yourself, like, what else do you need? So it depends on if you're still needing a few more bells and whistles, if this one might be worth the price tag, because it's expensive.
You know what? I don't have one. Do you?
I have a different company's video doorbell that ties in with my system. Yeah.
Okay. Because with Amazon's Ring Video Doorbell Pro 2, $250. But it produces a 1536 by 1536 square video. That allows you to get a full head-to-toe view of someone that rings the doorbell. Mm-hmm. I will also tell you that is almost, it's not quite like it is and isn't HD. So, I mean, like, you're talking about a pretty decent picture coming at you from the doorbell. It also does, you can set what they call a distance threshold. So if you want to get a picture of every person that walks past your house every day, no problem.
Well, it's actually good, too, because, like, mine will allow you on different cameras to set a line or a perimeter. So then that way you're not, like, I don't need the sidewalk. So every time someone walks past on the sidewalk, I don't need something recording then. So you can set, like, where you want to actually be notified if someone's stepping onto your property or onto, like, your front porch.
That's what I want. I want to be able to watch everybody that walks past, all of it.
You actually don't want the notifications and you don't want the dead battery. So it depends on if you have a camera at your doorbell or if you're having like a security camera. You don't want that.
Okay, so do you have Like, do you have to change the batteries out? I
Yeah,
don't know, and that's something I had to.
Not
I was
on the
wondering about.
doorbells. Not on the doorbells, because those are wired in, so your power is that way. But like, if you have security cameras that go with it, it's the thing that we hate the most. Because man, especially if you get in cold temperatures, it'll just eat it up.
Okay, all right. So, well, okay, no, wait. But when you say the doorbell,
Not the doorbells.
would that be,
Those are powered when you actually that's just powered through like a normal doorbell, so you don't need batteries with those.
Okay, so when you when somebody comes and rings your doorbell, and I know that you don't have Ring, so it could be different. Like, can you set it to just notify your phone?
Yeah, it just rings to my phone. It doesn't ring in the house. It automatically records it, and then I can just talk to them or watch them on my phone. Then you can answer it as like an audio call or a video call.
I'm getting one. I'm done.
And you can leave little messages, so you can just hit, it will talk to the person, and it'll just do a message. Like the Ring one will also do this. You can just set up to where it says, we're not coming to the door right now. Please leave such and such. You can just tailor a message, and then it'll talk to the person for you.
Yeah. The only thing about this that I feel like it's a huge scam is the fact that the only person that really comes to my door is an Amazon delivery driver. So now I'm paying Amazon to provide me with a camera so that I can take pictures of the guy from Amazon bringing me the stuff I'm buying from Amazon.
But I mean, with all the videos of like the drivers throwing things and not delivering and taking it and stealing it, like people nowadays just want a camera at your front door because you just want to catch something and then you can get that on out there on the internet. So you want to make sure you have a good quality video camera at your door to get the stuff in action.
I want to monetize my Ring videos.
Pretty much. You got to get your money back on it.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So Tiger Woods was in a really, really bad accident 2 days ago now. Was that? It was.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Tuesday morning?
I think so. It was definitely earlier this week.
So he is awake, responsive, and recovering in the hospital. He was on his way to the country club. He lost control of his SUV in an accident, and I'm like, he's hurt. It's a big deal. Here's the thing that kind of blows my mind. He was on his way to play golf with Drew Brees and Justin Herbert, like NFL guys.
Yeah.
And here's what I just found myself thinking. What is it like to go meet Tiger Woods at the golf course to just play around in the morning? Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm going to meet Tiger down at the country club. We're going to play a few holes. I don't know. Probably get some coffee.
Because I think,
what is that like?
Well, it's a different world. We've never been a part of a world like that. So I don't know exactly what it's like, but maybe they're friends too. Or do you feel like it was more like put together? Or were they just going to actually play golf because they wanted to? Like a friend thing?
I have no idea. Like, and that's another thing too. Like, who, no offense, Tiger, no offense, but like, if we were friends, I wouldn't want to golf with you. No.
But he could teach you. He could absolutely be like having a great coach come in and teach you.
Yes, it would, Nikki. You're right. But there's also this thing where after a while, I would just be like, you know what? Just go ahead.
Just play ahead. I'll catch up with you.
I'll catch up with you. You're going to be done in about 20 minutes. I should be there in 4 to 5 hours. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
Well, if you feel the pressure, but if not, it would be nice to have a friend who knew way more about it if you were trying to get better at the game.
Sometimes. The other thing I started thinking about is, when I go golfing, which is not often, but it's not that I never do. You go in, you have to pay the green fees.
Yeah.
You have to decide, am I going to get a cart? Am I not going to get a cart? Then your friends have to pay their green fees. I get this feeling that when Tiger Woods and Drew Brees show up at the country club, I'll bet nobody asks them for anything. I'll bet they have a cart waiting. I'll bet they have a caddy waiting.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll bet everything is all. They are having such a different experience than when I go to the city golf course in the afternoon.
It's an honor for them all to play there. So it's almost like they're paying them to come and play golf at their location. It's not how it is when we do it.
It's the reverse cell. They can take a picture of them out on the course, and it's like, oh, is it okay, sir, if we actually print this picture? Wow.
Again, like that's why I wasn't sure if that's just created a setup to have these famous people come and play or if they were actually friends. Mitch texted, Tiger would destroy me on a course. Golf is frustrating enough. I don't need the golf god playing against me. Well, don't think about it as playing against you, Mitch. What if he was playing with you and you didn't have that pressure unless you were putting it on yourself?
Oh, man, Nikki's segueing right into talking about Jesus. You know, Jesus is not here to make you feel bad. He's here to help you while you're golfing.
He could totally help you learn how to be better at golf if that's what you wanted.
I love it.
There's a life lesson there, guys, all right?
Totally. And you know what? I wasn't even learning it.
Okay.
Thanks, Nikki.
Let's not think everybody's against us, but how about with us?
You know, we're on this golf course called life, and some of us have to swing a lot. Some of us don't seem to swing that much. But, you know, they might have other problems that you don't know about off the golf course.
And you can help them with that, but they're going to be better with golf than you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nikki.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Man, it's crazy what's going on with GameStop. I saw a little bit about this yesterday. Nikki just threw a story my way about how GameStop stock went up again yesterday. Like, it doubled in price yesterday.
Not like before. It wasn't anything quite like that, but it was enough to where it was like, hey, I think it went doubling to $91 a share in just a few hours.
Oh, man, all I can think about is there's a guy that works in my area who I talk to from time to time, and he asked me if I had bought GameStop stock, and I told him no, and he lost so much money on that stock.
Aww.
And he was like, yeah, I'm not going to sell it until it hits a certain number so I can at least get some of my money back. Oh, I really, really hope he waited. I really hope he waited.
Because then he could have had a little bit of money towards the end there.
Yeah, like he could have at least maybe gotten his money back out of it. But here's what happened. Yesterday, the CEO of Chewy.com, he's on the board of directors at GameStop. This is so weird. He tweeted a photo of an ice cream cone from McDonald's.
Yeah, and a frog emoji. And they said that was enough to start a jump in their stuff. And people are wondering what was the message behind what he actually was tweeting.
I know, doesn't it feel like some serious insider trader stuff? Like, look to the east.
Yeah, like
in the morning.
We don't
look
trade
for the frog.
So I don't know, like what's frog and what's ice cream cone. Like people just don't know. But it was enough because it seemed like a message to get everybody to get back into the frenzy of it.
It really does feel like a message, doesn't it? Like not a random, I just happened to get an ice cream cone and I love frogs.
Well, it wasn't
more of something else.
It wasn't a personal like photo of him eating an ice cream cone. It was like a stock photo of it. So that's why it does seem weird.
A stock photo?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. It really is weird.
That's interesting.
So they think that the guy was sending a message with a tweet. He bought 9 million shares.
We got the message, wink, wink.
This guy bought 9 million shares of GameStop back in December, and he is kind of like viewed by some of the company's people as a vision. He can transform GameStop, do all this stuff, make it profitable again. So people are watching him, which is why when he made this really weird tweet, it just jumped it again and people could make some more money. So went up to $91, doubling a share in just a few hours during that yesterday.
Up from 50. And I don't know what it's trading at right now. I would have to go look, but I think as of the time of this article, it jumped to 50, or excuse me, to 90, but it looks like it went higher than that yesterday.
Oh, during all of it? Oh,
yeah.
Well, again, you just don't know what's going to happen with the GameStop stock. It's just very weird how it can keep doing this.
Well, maybe now they can afford to give me a decent trade on something.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So if you're looking for something free to play this weekend, and, sure, free is for me. I'll take free. What do you got? There is a game coming out April 1st called Outriders, and the demo for that hits today. So it will actually, I think it hits at noon Eastern, actually, is when you'll be able to download it. And I'm tired of waiting online, inline, whatever. Forget it. I'll download it later today.
Oh, you don't even want to try right at the same time everybody else is going to? Doesn't that sound fun?
You don't want to keep clicking, go,
having issues.
You don't want to be angry and upset. What's wrong? Why don't you? I don't understand.
I thought that's how we're supposed to start every game, even in demo form. So I'm a little disappointed you don't want to be right in at that same time.
So looking at it, I mean, I'll have to say, my friend Brandon and Nikki, this is the very same Brandon that... What were we talking about last week? And you said some really unkind things about him.
No, I didn't. What are you saying? Why would you just say that? Why would you lie about that? I don't even know Brandon.
I know you don't, which made it even odder to me.
You're so mean.
But wait, here, I wrote it. Let's see. He was the one that was encouraging me to use Wallpaper Engine.
Oh, okay.
And you were like, and so Brandon,
I don't think that's how I sounded, but maybe I don't think you should use it.
The thing that's tough is Brandon is a little paranoid, and I try to tell him, like, Brandon, people aren't out to get you. So he gets in his car and turns the radio on. The people on the radio are talking about who doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's hard to fight that, isn't that?
Talk about scheduling some extra therapy, man.
Well, is he excited about Outriders? Or
no, he actually is. He is my one friend that has been like following this from the get-go. So it looks to me as if we're basically dealing with another Destiny type game.
Yeah.
Where you're going to go around. Well, I'm just going to say it, Nikki. I think it might be a little looter shooter.
It's a third-person shooter game. It's a new franchise, and they hope that people like it.
Yeah, so see if this sounds familiar. You'll become a certain class, and then you'll wander an open world, taking on missions, sometimes alone, sometimes with other players, and getting all kinds of neat loot as you go around the world.
Great. That sounds so new and exciting and never been done before. But hey, anything's good, like, just to try. So if it's free to try the demo, why not?
That's exactly where I am. I am not that interested in it, or I haven't been, but I watched the video yesterday. Looks pretty good. And a free demo means I've got something to do this weekend. You know what?
If you want to try it, PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Series X, it'll not be on Google Stadia. So that's the only place you cannot try the demo.
Stadia.
Doesn't matter. Not many are using Stadia anyways. And I can say that because I had Stadia and I wasn't using it anyway. So if you have that, you cannot get the demo.
Oh, well, sorry, Stadia users.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
Earlier today, Nikki and I discovered that to join the 1%, the 1% of the wealthiest people in the United States, you're only going to need $4.4 million.
For if you are in the United States. Some places would be more.
Right.
I think we were third, but other places would be less.
So $4.4 million puts you in the top 1% of all people in the United States. That I think that at that point, you could just say that you're rich. Now, some people might be like, oh, I'm not comfortable with that terminology. Hey, 1%, right? Right? But see, here's the problem. Being in the 1% is something that earlier in the show I was aspiring to, and now I've come to realize is not going to be enough for me.
You need more?
Well, I am going to need more, Nikki, because I'm looking here at the, let me see, what's it called? The Triton 13,000. Titanic Explorer is what it's called. It is a It's a submarine that you'll be able to buy. Now, keep in mind, it's not going to be an off-the-shelf thing. You're going to have to go and
place an order. It's a special thing.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. And it is the deepest diving acrylic pressure hold man submersible ever built. It's like a big dome, like you're in a fishbowl, and it looks like a helicopter of the future cockpit.
But in the water.
It has these in water, and it has these gull wings, is what they're calling it. I want to go play in this submarine.
So they say it'll go down. The depth part is what's really impressive. It'll go over 13,000 feet down, about 9 Empire State Buildings stacked end to end, which makes it the deepest diving acrylic pressure hold manned submersive ever built. So all those qualifiers right there. But it looks impressive. You haven't said the price yet, but it's very expensive.
Well, and that's where you and I end up having the difficulty about being part of the 1%. As a 1%er, I can't just afford this, okay? I'm going to have to join the 1% of the 1% because this is a $15 million submarine.
Gosh, that's so much money. And then you still need more money to, like, be rich and live on. So this would have to be just extra $15 million you have. Or you'd have to have investors. I don't know what you would do with this thing, but you would need it.
Well, it's for funsies.
No, I mean, maybe you have to buy it like for a company to where you're allowing people to ride in it. Like you're starting a business with it.
Oh, so Nikki, you're talking about laundering money or embezzlement.
No,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I get it. No. The company buys it.
No, I mean, actually, you're like, hey, here's Obi's Submarine Adventure Center, and they could go and ride this submarine thing. You'd have to actually use the submarine to make some money back on it.
It makes a lot more sense to me why recently Nikki had her station credit card taken away. I'm seeing it, Nikki. I see where you're at.
No,
she's always asking me to go to Costco with her now. Like, I forgot my purse.
I just feel like you need to make sure that you're treating this like you're creating a submarine business. Because why would you buy a $15 million personal submarine to just be there that you would never end up using?
Oh, my gosh. You sound so poor right now.
I guess I saw. To some, it might be poor. To others, it could be reasonable. But I just know that we buy a lot of stuff that we're so interested in the beginning. And then a few weeks later, you're like, I don't want to go into the personal submarine. I don't want to go down again. So you don't use it anymore.
Well, yeah, but like Nikki, at the level that you and I are operating at, you've got week to week, you got to be willing to change things up a little bit.
And you got to know when to sell the submarine to make some money as well, if you're buying it. Well, for $15 million, I don't have anything to contribute to that money-wise, but I'll see if anybody else wants to help you out.
All I need is 15 million people giving $1 a month. And I'm making it monthly because, like I said, I'm going to need, when we get bored of this, we got to have something else.
Yeah, he's going to have something else that he's got to put the money into. So, all right. Justin in Oklahoma says, Nikki, have you ever seen Doomsday Preppers? Yeah, I've seen that. But like, if you're into doomsday stuff, I don't think you're buying a $15 million submarine. You're buying like a $15 million gallon of mac and cheese. Like, that's what you're doing.
There's nowhere safer than 2 miles under the ocean.
True. You could wait it out down there with all your buckets of food.
That's right.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Really looking forward to signing up for some more streaming services this weekend. Trying to decide which ones that's going to be. Because here's the thing. It's not about what I want to watch. It's not that. I just want to have the status of being able to name off a bunch of streaming services that I don't actually watch.
Well, I think we already have a long list of streaming services that we buy monthly subscriptions for, but we don't watch enough. But there's always room to add more. There's always new ones.
I know. And so that's why I'm getting excited about this switch over to Paramount Plus. That looks like that might be a strong contender for service I subscribe to and don't watch, right along with Netflix and several others.
So if you're not following along, there was this thing called CBS All Access, and it had some shows. It had the Star Trek stuff. Did it have other stuff? What else was there? It had a few things.
Cheers.
It had some classic stuff.
I know that because somebody talked to me about it.
So CBS All Access, though, is rebranding into Paramount Plus because like Disney Plus and Discovery Plus, everything now has to have its name and a plus sign. That's just what we're going to be doing. So they're going to rebrand into that and then, just have more stuff, I guess.
Yeah, they are. And this is what I don't like when I see things like this. They just announced that that's where you're going to see the Halo TV show.
Are you not happy? Well, I mean, you wouldn't have watched it. Where else was it supposed to be? Was it Showtime or something? Or they at least had the series. They're making it. They're producing it with a few other companies. But yeah, it's going to Paramount Plus.
Nikki, first off, I just want you to know that with remembering that it was going to be on Showtime, you just went from handshake to hug. All right. I'm so proud of you today.
I could take credit for remembering that, but the article's right in front of me. So,
well,
that's where I saw it
at. Let me ask you a question. Should I downgrade you to handshake today because you didn't remember, or should you keep the hug for the honesty? I'll have to think about that.
I'll keep it for that or a pat on the back. But Halo's been a long talked about series. I guess they're actually filming it now, but this thing has been like this mysterious show that never could get made. So they're working on it now, though, and it will be ready to hit Paramount Plus in 2022. So next year.
Well, yeah, okay.
Of course.
You're a sweet kid.
So we'll see what it is. I mean, now that Halo is still popular, but almost as a like back in your childhood sort of thing, not necessarily a newly popular thing. So it's just been so long. It should have gone out back then.
Halo to me feels like something that's time in some ways has passed, but Microsoft, but here's what I think. I think this is their last shot. Between that next Halo game and this Halo TV series, it's their last shot. Now, will they keep making Halo games no matter what? Yes. But I feel like this is their chance to get back into the zeitgeist where people may actually care.
Sure.
I mean, it's not going to be Fortnite, but I think you could still get some people on it. So we'll see.
Well,
but I'm curious.
Could be just a good show. I know that's asking a lot. Like if you just move the Halo stuff aside, it could just be an interesting TV show. And it's just for others, you understand the Halo a bit more, but it might actually be good. We'll just have to wait a little bit more till they're done filming it.
That's actually what I was going to say is what if it's just good? Like, I know. Sorry. They don't make those.
But we could be pleasantly surprised. They filmed about 60% of the first season, and then they got shut down last March when COVID stuff happened. So that's when it had been floating around, and that's when Paramount Plus decided to pick it up and take it. So, again, next year will Halo series be out through them.
I don't know. I will say this. It gives me a little bit of hope because when they said it was going to be on Showtime, I was like, oh, good. It's Master Chief, but he's not wearing pants. And so if it's going to be on Paramount Plus, there's a decent chance that if Master Chief shows up, he'll be fully clothed.
Hopefully so. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Wait, stop. Please, no cheering. We don't want to hear any cheering.
Well, why not?
Because you're allowed to be here, you are not allowed to do any cheering.
Oh, is this a COVID thing?
We'll just call it Olympic rules for right now. So, did you see this for real though? Like the Olympic torch relay is going to be starting here in a little more than 3 weeks. It's technically 1 month from today, March 25th, 2021. Mm-hmm. That's this year in Fukushima. They will start the
Olympic
relay.
torch. We're we're still doing this. We're still going to do the Olympics this summer. I mean, there's been back and forth talk, and obviously it was postponed from last year. But I assume the cheering is they don't want people spitting on everybody or being out to actually watch or have crowds around the Olympic torch run.
That's exactly right, Nikki. If you would like to be a part of this historic event in Japan, here's what you have to do. You can show up. You can wear a mask. You have to wear a mask. Mm-hmm. If you don't feel well, please stay home. Man, I hate that. And you don't want to travel outside your prefecture. So if you're in a different prefecture, but you want to I want to go to Fukushima. No, can't. So what you are allowed to do is clap. You can just clap.
So start practicing. That's approved. You're allowed to.
The other thing you're allowed to do is support with distributed goods, which I imagine means they'll probably, those stupid, bang them together and it makes noises.
The noisemakers?
The inflatable things.
Oh, those things. Yeah. So you can bring that and make noise that way.
You sure can. So there we go. Let me tell you what. We're not going to let some little virus tell us we can't Olympic. We're going to be Olympicing like you wouldn't believe.
Not have all the fun stuff. Well, I was watching a vlogger who went to a baseball game in Japan, and it's while the pandemic stuff was still going on. So they had a lot of rules. You still had to be separated, kind of similar to some of the sporting stuff here. But if you've never seen a sporting event there, they really do use those banging things a lot, during games. Yeah. And they cheer a lot. They sing and they cheer, and they have all these chants and stuff that they do. And they said it was so weird to be a part of a baseball game where it was quiet, because they said you could not cheer at all. And if you did, you were out. And so, that's just normally how they cheer on things, just being very loud with it. That's the support. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would actually be kind of creepy, to show up and it's just quiet.
Yeah. They said you could hear things that normally you couldn't, and that the only noise you could do was banging the inflatable things, but people were used to cheering and chanting, but you just can't do that. Similar to, our rules when you go to an event here.
Or similar to when the riot comes out and we say, please don't cheer.
Please. Well, that was always uncomfortable anyways. We're here to just be here. You don't have to cheer like that. It's appreciated, but you don't need to.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Can I just tell you that I think all of us could learn a little something from me, and that is, don't buy something because you think you can fix it. Or no, that's the wrong lesson. Let me try again. Don't buy something because someone says after you buy it, they're going to fix it.
Okay. It's just not going to work out.
I definitely did that. I mean, whatever. I'm just amazed by this piece of news. Yesterday, a whole bunch of games got delayed. A lot of video game kind of stuff happened. And yesterday they announced that Anthem Next has been canceled. Now, you may not be familiar with this, but let me tell you how it worked. 2, maybe 3 years ago, I think it was 2, though. I think it'll be 2 in March. There was a game that came out called Anthem. I was very excited about it. A lot of people were. I didn't buy it. I played the demo or whatever, and I was a little underwhelmed by it. People got really mad about it. They didn't feel like it was good enough, all this stuff. And so the company came out, and that would be Electronic Arts and BioWare, and they're like, hey, guys, we're sorry, and we hear you.
Well, those are bigger companies.
They are. And they said it again. We hear you, and we're sorry, and we're going to make it right. And so they made this big deal about all these announcements about how they were going to launch this thing, and it was going to be, and if you already owned it, you're in great shape because you've got it, and when it comes out, it's free and all that kind of stuff. So last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next...
You canceled it.
I went out, and it was on sale for $5. Now, granted, $5 is low risk, and I knew that going in, but I was like, you know what? $5, I'll get the free update, whatever. And yesterday they were like, with COVID and winter and the changing demographic, psychographic, and that we're just not gonna we've canceled it.
So now they're no longer
canceled.
doing the upgrades on the game to make people happy because they were so disappointed that it was poorly done. They're saying that they have to move forward. They're working on Dragon Age, Mass Effect titles. They need to provide updates to the Old Republic. So Anthem for them is just no longer a priority, not as much as those other things. So they're not updating it anymore.
I love this kind of, because what I love is it's just that thing where, like, it feels like they got caught and they were sorry, but they were only sorry because they got caught. And now they just assume it's been long enough that it's too late.
Well,
whatever.
They are saying, and this is true for gameplay, this is why so much stuff is messed up and so much stuff has been pushed, is with pandemic and COVID, you know how everybody was like told to stay home at work? And that's fine for a lot of things, but not every job can transition to work from home as well as maybe yours did. And for video game development, they say that really actually needs to be an in-the-office effort with a lot of people closely working together. So the work from home orders had a big impact because they could not continue the same work or the same workload for video game development.
Now, Nikki, a lot of you're right about all of that. But I feel like there are a lot of people that are not identifying with what you and I are talking about because it's a little too inside baseball. So again, let me just break this down for you. When something's broken and they tell you that they'll fix it after you buy it,
they're not going to
buy it.
They're not going to
don't
at all.
buy it. You wait and buy it after it's fixed.
And the more they'll say they're going to fix it, the more they're passionate about it, means less likely it will ever come out. And it'll never be fixed.
The Riot Radio U.
Now, some people are not going to like the way that I'm going to say this, but I have to. Sometimes you're asking for it. You have to make a change. And I want you to know that there in Vancouver, right there in Canada, they've got a park there called Dude Chilling Park.
Hey!
And
what? I mean, can others come? Or is it just for dudes and chilling and hanging out?
The problem here is that people keep stealing the sign.
Of course they would.
Of course they do. Yes. I, who don't steal signs, would be tempted with that sign.
Just can't help it.
And like, listen, I didn't want to, but I had to steal the Dude Chilling sign. I had to.
So they're saying that this is many times this sign, it's been stolen. So once again, it costs them $1,300 every time someone takes it. Because they have to replace the sign, repair and repaint the posts that hang up the sign. That usually gets damaged when they steal it. And they say it should take about 10 days at the Dude Chilling Park to have a new sign.
It's so funny. The sign, it used to be called Golf Park. And they put up this sign as part of an art installation.
And it's
Dude
stuck.
Chilling Park. And it's stuck. So that's what they call it. And the sign keeps getting stolen. It costs $1,300 Canadian every time that something happens to the sign.
It's like they need to, what's that, is it in Sweden, the Christmas goat or the
Gavle goat?
Yeah, so in, at Christmas time, they put this straw goat thing up. It means something because of a Christmas thing for them. But people constantly would try, like it became a thing every year, who could burn it down the fastest and would it make it actually through Christmas. So they would put stuff around it. They'd have webcams on it all the time to try to deter people from it. It's almost like they need to treat the sign, get a webcam up, shame someone if they're stealing it or if they're there. They need to have some more security.
That's actually what I was going to say, is it's time for escalation. Like, it's time for us to take this a little bit farther and a little bit harder. And I think they should consider permanently posting a police officer there whose job it is just to stand watch over dude chilling park sign.
And if you're like, well, that's a waste of resources and money, well, you're spending money to make the new sign anyway, so maybe you just need to spend the money this way. But that's in Vancouver, and it's 10 more days till the sign comes back, so you can get ready to go take it again.
And that brings me to my point. Listen, you guys, you're going to have to change the name of the park. You just...
Oh, no, steal the sign then.
What they need to do, they need to come up with a different name, like Not Cool Guys Park. Something that sends a message to the people that have been stealing that sign.
How about you put like responsible people working, and that's the name of the park. No dude chilling, no hanging out. Like, just make it really uncool, and that could be it.
People who don't steal park.
The park.
The park, or just that, the park.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
It's not Pickle Mageddon. It's not Salad Mageddon. It's not Broccoli Mageddon. It is Cake Mageddon.